All right, so now that I've got some of the clutter cleared off my phone and I got a little memory space, I can talk about uh, YouTube subscribers, Monte Carlo here. I want to talk a little bit about what I've done to it, and we'll do a few more videos, and I'm going to put them together and post it. But when the guy brought me the car, it had it was in gray primer, and that's a big red flag. Okay. He had also taken his other car. This is the replacement body, Fisher body. He had taken it to the some crook and give him a lot of money, and they done some hack job work on the floor pans. The only thing really majorly they got done was got the body transferred over, frame cleaned and painted. I mean, nothing really to brag about. I've got the old pans I can show you in a later segment in the video down in my scrap pile. But basically, I will show you one that I cut out, and this was the front passenger side. It pretty much showed up after the blaster. The driver's side pan currently is out of stock, so I may throw some sealer or glass down, whatever, just to get him by till later time, because the car is probably going to be coming back to finish paint. If he decides to go ahead and finish it now, I'll cut that out. Just have to make something. But anyway, the car had a lot of body damage, wavy, rough. I was able to save, since this car is going to be a matte satin black, it doesn't have to be, you kind of look at it as a little different perspective to try to stay as budget friendly as you can. But there's some things that I will not compromise on, and that's cutting out rust. I got that cut out. That was just a big bad spot. This car had been hit here on the side. You can see where it's been pulled out. Again, if this car was going to be a shiny color, I would have wanted to put a full quarter in it. Somebody had made a spoiler, and that's a mess, but tail panel was pretty beat up. I got, besides primer, I got the car ready for the back glass and the windshield to go in. You can see a lot of ripples here. The marker lights had already been filled, so what I'm going to do is, in case he ever changed his mind, I'm not going to weld up the holes at the bottom of the car. I'm just going to fill them in. Again, it's going to be a matte black, so that way it gives him the option, if he decided he wanted to go back trim one day, he can just knock the filler out and the holes will be there. So right now, I've basically just tried to find some issues with the car. He complained of and this is not a mechanic shop, so don't even take this. But the battery drain, well, this will make the system work. And on the side of the road, this is fine. But this is staying hot all the time, and that's draining the battery within a couple of days. So that's got to be fixed. That needs to be put on a switch power source. He also complained about the car not cutting off. Well, if you go back and look at some of my 59 Impala videos of what I discovered on that car, well, they done the same thing on this. They put the hot wire for the HEI that needs 12 volts constant and tied it into the old points wire. So once that heats up, it breaks connection and the car cuts off. So the car, I also used a set of my doors because his doors were power, so they had all the power window mechanism. Instead of going through all that trouble changing them, I just changed the whole doors. Trying to save a little time, I just kept his. Put the bucket seat brackets in the floor, replaced that entire pan, this pan, that pan, and that pan. Just, you know, overlap, cut out the rust, overlap the rest. Put the bucket seat pans in the floor. Again, if this was a concours job, I mean, but this is a driver, and there's nothing wrong with overlapping floor pans as long as you're not overlapping rust. Don't overlap rust. Don't put new pan down over a rusty pan. That don't work. Cut the rust out, put your new pan in, weld it in, and then use a quality seam sealer, like the brushable seam sealer here I use, with a spreader or a brush, and kind of take up that little gap between underneath the car, and then it looks nice and clean that way. So what I'm getting ready to do, I'm getting ready to make a piece for that. I'm gonna cut that out, and I'm gonna get this cut that out. I'm gonna get this car body, the Fisher body here, done. You know, rust wise, and fill it in with the glass. Put some primer over the welds, and then I'm gonna see where we're at on time. I'm probably gonna start with a dash, putting it back together, and the wiring, because at that point my dust will be done. And then if I end up doing going ahead and fixing the fenders, which I probably will, but I want to prioritize on the budget we're working with. I want to prioritize getting the car where it's closer to be running. The gas tank's also been dropped. It's got to go out to the acid vat, to the radiator shop, and get that treated. So the goal is to get the car where it'll crank and run under its own power. He's supposed to be sending me the brake stuff. So anyway, we got these took off and replaced. Had to cut all those bolts off, put a new battery tray in. So just a lot of little stuff on this car. Not a total restoration, but it was only going to be here for a week, and now it's been here going on 3. So that's what happens with the snowball. So anyway, we'll see you in the next segment. All right, so I want to do a little update here for the video collage for this fella's Monte Carlo. I want to talk a little bit about what I'm doing. Of course, I got the floorboards in, all sealed. I'm waiting on that one over there to come in, and I'm going to have to just make do with this over here. This one here is not even listed anywhere right now because of all this craziness. Got the doors on, got the door glasses back in. I'll just have to final adjust all this stuff when the window channel here is put back and some rubber. Because he plans on kind of driving this car, and I don't know how far I'm going to go with the body, but right now I'm mainly concerned about getting around the windows perfected for new glass, for a good used rear and a new front glass. I've got some other rusted issues that needs to be fixed, but I'm holding off on that just to kind of see where the budget is, because I've got to put the dash back in, I got to wire the car back up. I've got a battery, so hopefully to get the engine running, I got to make sure the fuel lines and all that stuff's hooked up. So there's still a good bit to do. This little 1-week project is snowballed out of see, we're almost 2 weeks in now, and it's probably looking like 3, maybe 4. So probably 3. But anyway, keep following me along, and we'll go from here. Okay, so what we've done so far now, we've got the car ready for glass. I'll put some more epoxy primer on the body filler spots that I fixed. Customer wanted me to just get the car to look presentable. So all these lines and stuff is not totally, they're close, but they need more work. But for epoxy right now, it'll be fine. When we go further in the future, of course, you know, more work will have to be done. Even with the satin color, it's got to be, the lines has got to be pretty close. Not so much so perfectly straight, but your lines on a satin color, even probably as much as a gloss, your satin color, your lines is going to really show up. So got all this looking pretty good. It's ready for the glass. So we'll keep plucking away at it. All right, so I wanted to do a kind of a wrap-up video here on YouTube subscriber's car from Atlanta. The car will be coming back this coming year to do some body work and paint. Gonna go with a satin black, but he's gonna have the car wide bodied, going with the rallying autocross look. That'll be kind of a unique thing, be different. You don't see a lot of these cars that's that way. I don't know of any. Basically got the car where he can drive it, got all the lights working. Floorboards are in. Still, hopefully, we'll be able to get this one ordered. Maybe it'll be come back in stock. It's not kind of, you know, the glass, got it in. It's good to go. Got all the door glasses back in, adjusted. So he needs some seats. Got the bucket seat brackets in the floor. Did some mechanical work. I don't normally like to do that. Got the hood where it'll open. And I'm gonna open this hood right quick. Got everything. Yeah, the car actually runs really well. Of course, there need to be a lot of detail work done under the hood eventually, but that's not going to be done now. Had to go with header plugs. There's going to be some other things I'm going to recommend for this car. He's supposed to be ordering vintage air. I guess you better get that ordered because they're about 4 months behind. So anyway, of course we got a little more adjustment that had to be done up here. All this has got to come back apart to do the body work and paint, so there's no reason to waste countless time just getting everything exactly perfect. For as quick as I put it back together, the body lines and all turned out pretty good. Got the back glasses in. Luckily the trunk was really solid. He's gonna get a new trunk lid here and gonna have a spoiler, a nice spoiler built. I don't know who done this, but this is just a mess. So anyway, the back bumper on the car. So anyway, that's gonna wrap it up for this video collage on this car. I had some better video, but my phone memory got full and I had some trouble. They got erased, but showing kind of the progress of the floor pans and stuff. But so anyway, that's gonna do it for this one. When the car comes back, I'll be sure and show a little bit more step by step, kind of how things is gonna go. So anyway, with that being said, thanks for watching, and we will see y'all next time. And as the next project comes in, it'll be a 70 SS 454. So stay tuned for that. Got a leak right there. Seems to run pretty good. Alternator's putting out. Fuel gauge works. That's good.